Nearly 24 hours into the Arctic blast, and we're still seeing freezing conditions that will have us bundled up leading into Christmas.
A change in the plans for warming centers across the city of Houston. 2 will stay open through Christmas Day.
The cold weather is causing boil order notices across parts of the area. We're live in Katy, where tonight a neighborhood has notices out.
And we are headed into another night of freezing temperatures. We have team coverage with Chief Meteorologist David Paul and meteorologist Kim Castro.
Dave, today it's strange to see the sun and still feel so cold.
Yeah, right. You see the sun in Houston, you think sweat, heat, humidity. Just the opposite. High temp today at Bush went to 32, so we did not get above the freezing mark today. Morning low was 15 degrees, 30 degrees colder than we ought to be this time of the year. Morning lows across the board. Pearland bottomed out at 16. Conroe was the cold spot at 13. Galveston had a low of 21 this morning. And looking outside right now, it's 30 at Hobby. Bush is now back down to 28. Galveston at 32, Conroe 26. Sun going down now. Clear skies are still with us for the moment, which is going to allow temps to drop pretty quickly here for the next couple of hours. Still have a north breeze at 10 to 15, sustained at 23 in Galveston, which means wind chills. Current wind gust 26 at Hobby, Galveston a gust of 35, which means wind chills feel like they're in the teens right now. So bundle up, throw on a scarf. We'll have to wait and see how low temps are going to go. We'll look at that in just a little bit. But Kim, this has been a not just area-wide, but statewide and nationwide wind chill event.
Oh yeah, we're cold, but at least we're cold in good company. Everybody just about below freezing right now. So 28 degrees from Houston to Austin to Abilene in the low 20s, and then the teens, the lucky ones right now along the western coast above the freezing mark from El Paso to Del Rio. But that's for actual air temperatures. What it feels like, the lone Del Rio feeling like 1 degree above the freezing point, and most of us in the teens for what it feels like out there. Dave was talking about those wind gusts. Look at the peak gusts for today. 40 for a Hobby, 50 close to that for the island. But notice the trend. Winds are starting to die down, and that will bring us at least a little relief for tomorrow. We'll have details on that straight ahead.
All right, thank you so much, Kim Castro. The cold temps are causing a drop in water pressure in 3 water systems across the Houston area, and because of that, boil order notices are active. The affected areas include the Flamingo Lake community in Montgomery County, customers of the Fulshear Municipal Utility District 3A system, along with Willow Creek Farms in the Katy area. Right now, the state is testing samples of the water to determine if it's safe to drink. It'll be another 24 to 48 hours for the test results to come back.
But the timeline can change depending on current freezing conditions we're still experiencing. Adam Bennett is live in Katy as people face having to boil their water for the Christmas holiday. Adam.
Yeah, Mia, we are talking about several thousand customers spread across these 2 districts, which are right next to each other here near Katy and near Fulshear. And officials say it could take longer than that usual waiting period you mentioned to get the all clear from the state, because these freeze conditions have caused issues for so many water systems across Texas. Now, today we were talking about 2 different districts that have issued these boil water notices. Willow Creek Farms, MUD, they issued theirs around 8:30 this morning, and then just next door, Fulshear MUD 3A, they followed early this afternoon. We saw at least one store in this neighborhood had to close because their pipes are frozen, so they had no water at all. Officials said residents should use bottled water, or if that's not an option, they should boil water for a full minute at a roiling boil before using it to eat, drink, brush teeth, or wash food or dishes. They should also be careful not to swallow water when showering.
You know, we haven't lost power, so it hasn't been too bad. Everything else we were prepared for hasn't impacted, cooking or cleaning or running any of our errands. I just went and got my oil changed, so it's not slowing me down this morning.
And through an email from a lawyer, Willow Creek Farms MUD officials told us that an electrical issue with a booster pump at their water plant caused a break in the pump's shaft, and they say that is what led to the drop in water pressure that started this whole need for a notice. They are trying to figure out what caused that initial electrical issue in the first place. Meanwhile, MUD officials told me that they have been able to reestablish normal water pressure at the plant. They say they've also coordinated with the TCEQ, that state environmental regulatory agency, to get them those samples to hopefully get the all clear as soon as possible. Mia?
Adam Bennett, hopefully they don't have any issues. Thank you so much for the update.
The power grid is being put to the test right now. So far, it's holding up. Sherman Chow is monitoring ERCOT. Hey, Sherman.
Hey, Ron. So the good news is the power grid is holding up. You can take a look at the webpage for ERCOT here. And of course, the green, that's the most important thing. Things are working. You know, we've had no freezing rain or snow, and there has been plenty of sun and wind. So that's the good news. There is, though, also some worrying information. ERCOT's seasonal forecast for peak demand was 67,400 megawatts. Well, this morning, the actual demand was about 74,000, so there was a pretty big shortfall.
The demand forecast was off by more than 10%. The professional integrity of the forecasting at ERCOT is really at issue. They've lost a lot of credibility, and they've done nothing to improve upon that over the last 2 years.
Okay. Do you think it's deliberate?
I have no idea. You know, nobody can plead incompetence at this point.
Ouch. Our energy expert with some tough words for ERCOT. His bottom line, that our grid still needs fixing. And despite the forecast shortfall, ERCOT did keep the power on, is doing that now. It also told us today that it expects there will be sufficient generation to meet demand during this cold weather snap. Guys?
All right, thank you so much, Sherman. Wind from the Arctic blast knocked out power to thousands of homes, according to CenterPoint, leaving them in the cold for hours. And the work to restore power continues tonight.
And Gerald Harris is live with more, including a scam warning from CenterPoint. Gerald.
Yeah, people who have lost power were left wondering when things will get back to normal. And right now, CenterPoint energy crews are fully staffed and working to address current outages. Folks in the Songwood neighborhood were without power for more than 16 hours, beginning around 6 to 7 p.m. Throughout the deep freeze, families had to bundle up with blankets, jackets, and even pets.
I felt like we were in the freezer. It was really, really cold. You could see our breath when we talked. I had to bring my dog with me. She was shivering.
At this moment, Houston is experiencing isolated power outages, nothing out of the ordinary, and are now warning all CenterPoint customers to watch out for fraudulent text messages, allegedly from CenterPoint, indicating rotating power outages will take place tonight. That's not the case. The message is also asking customers to click on a link for more information. Again, the message is fraudulent, and customers should not click on the malicious link. CenterPoint with ERCOT are monitoring grid conditions and will update any alerts on their website. Right now, there's about 295 reported outages affecting about 3,500 customers. In Houston, Gerald Harris, KHOU 11 News.